Success.
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 And you're tuned into Photo Corner. Success is defined as the accomplishment of a name or purpose, a broad meaning for a word that doesn't mean the same thing to everyone. How does success look like to you? Does it involve money, fame, or fortune? Or is it freedom? Or maybe the ability to provide for yourself and family without strain or stress? Is it your ability to empower others, or even leaving a legacy? Even with the definition, success doesn't look the same for everyone. Today we speak to 13 photographers who have brought us into their world and given us tips for navigating the photography journey. But today we are aiming to find out, what does success look like as a photographer?
I think that for me as a photographer, success is kind of synonymous with the goal I said I had for 2021. For me, I think it's about being able to shoot content that you want to shoot, create work that you want to create, and have that kind of play a role in your life. But that being said, I think success is very subjective, and depending on who you ask that question is going to be very different. I think that for me, it's a little bit of a mix between, you know, being financially successful, being creating good work. Like, I think it's kind of like a hybrid of those two things.
How I initially saw success within photography was just basically being able to support yourself financially for doing something that you love, and that is basically what I've been working towards over the last sort of like 5-6 years, was building a photography business to the point where I could live comfortably and, you know, be able to support myself and my family for doing something that I enjoyed and something that essentially started out as a hobby, which is what I did. Barring last year, you know, we've been very comfortable and I've been able to continue pursuing something that I really enjoy doing, you know, going to work every day with a smile on my face, but at the same time being able to have a comfortable life and be able to support myself financially. And I do still see that as being successful, but I think more so, definitely over the past year or so, my goals have changed and what I see as success within photography has changed. I'm more so interested now in, and I know I keep bleating on about this, but in essentially like leaving my own legacy, you know, whether it's in terms of like a photo book, just a body of work or something like that. I want to create things that are going to be here long after I'm gone, if that makes sense. You know, our time on this earth is short, and if I can leave something to inspire others, you know, have something hanging on someone else's wall, have something like a book that people talk about that they teach kids in photography class, or, you know, something that would just inspire someone else, a future generation of photographer. That for me is what success in photography is, you know, being able to have that sort of legacy, being able to leave something for others and something that's going to be here long after you're gone.
Success to me is pretty simple, and that is really just to have freedom on a day-to-day basis to do what you love. So my goal at this point is to be a full-time photographer. If I can utilize YouTube to be a source of revenue at some point in the future, that'd be awesome. Right now, it really just is a creative escape. I really am trying to push my photography services when it comes to weddings, portraits, things like that, just so I could have the freedom to, you know, not work 2 jobs at this point, because I do work a 9-to-5 job along with taking photographs. So yeah, I would say that would be how I define success, is just to have that freedom to sustain myself through my photography, but also to have the time to, you know, make more videos, collaborate with more people, and things of that nature.
For me, I think it should definitely not hinder my time that I'm able to spend with my family. Right now, you know, my full-time job takes a lot of my time, and which has nothing to do with photography. And so between that and, you know, the time I spend with family and friends and socializing, although not a lot of socializing is going on right now, is very limited to then pursue photography. You know, to me, success would be where my full-time job is to do with photography, you know, whether it's portraits or still life or, you know, prints or a combination of all of them, where I'm able to do that full-time and also have enough time to pursue creative projects on the side without having to compromise on my time with my family. So yeah, if I'm able to do that, then I would consider myself successful.
Success for me as a photographer, I would say, is, being recognized for your work. Whether that's on a smaller scale, whether that's on a larger scale, I just think ultimately being shown love for the work that, you constantly put in, I think is always just a nice warm feeling, especially with the amount of hours and time, even financially, that we put into our work. We don't always get the recognition that us photographers kind of get as individuals, and I feel like success, ultimately, I think you want to be recognized and shown gratitude towards your work. And I think that's the one thing, whether that's on a small scale, large scale, but then even, I think seeing your work being shown to the masses, whether that's in an exhibition, whether that's in an art gallery, whether that's, online on social media, or even on like a massive billboard or movie, I think just being able to just see personally that your little photo shoots that you've done with barely any resources has made it into an online publication, or like I said, like a gallery. I think just seeing your work being shown on a big scale, I think is, really good. But I think ultimately as well, just kind of turning your hobby into a full-fledged career, just being paid for something that you love. And I think if you can do that, you almost feel like you're winning, because like your day job isn't a job and it's just something that you do for fun, you're ultimately winning, because like, there's a lot of people that don't enjoy what they do. And I feel like if you enjoy what you do and you get paid for it, I think, that's just success. And I think, yeah, if you just get shown recognition, if you get paid for what you do, and, long term, I think if you're still here in 5-10 years time and you're still able to say you're a photographer, I think all of these things just show success as a photographer.
For me, definitely looks like me being able to share the stories that I want to tell in the way that I creatively tell it. For me, that means at least having 3 successful bodies of work out, showcasing stories of marginalized people, to being on tour one day with an amazing acts that I look up to, like Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, even Black, some incredible people who made a huge impact on the music industry, to even me having my own production company one day. I think that for me being successful, it would mean me actually having a business that is somewhat successful, that can sustain me and my career. And at the end of the day, I'm most successful if I'm still having fun, which of course I think is challenging over the years, but I feel like if I can still make this my job and still have fun, then at the end of the day, I'm successful. I'm fulfilled. I'm having a great time. I'm fulfilled.
So success to me is never not having fun. Fame and money, they're all really nice, but if I'm not having fun while doing any one of those things, I don't feel like I'm being successful. I don't feel fulfilled.
To me, defining success as a photographer is looking back on things and being happy with the body of work that I've presented and shown to the world. I think that's really important as an artist, to enjoy what you're doing and be able to look back at everything you've created and be happy with that.
So for success, it can mean many things for a lot of people, but for me personally, I think success is documenting and having all of these photos to look back on, photos that are full of emotion. My biggest thing is just creating timeless work that people can always look at and feel something or connect to it or see something. Not only timeless work, but work for the Black community to give them a voice. A lot of people in the Black community, they don't really have too much of a voice. It's suppressed, or we don't get the opportunities we deserve, or just it's a lot. And so for me having this platform, for me being a photographer, having an eye and documenting people, why not document my own people that I can relate to, the culture that I can relate to, and share the stories of these everyday individuals or groups of people and allow the world to see that. So my definition of success would be documenting these everyday people, Black culture for sure, and giving us a voice through my photographs, but also creating timeless work that I can just look back on and say, man, I took this photo and it was beautiful and I can remember these moments. So for me, that's my definition of success. It's not so much money, fame, or whatever. If that comes, then that's cool, but I just want to have timeless photos that have emotion, help the Black community further along and share our stories that we have in all of the different communities and just the Black community in general. So yeah, that's success for me.
Success to me as a photographer, what that means is having good steaks. Also, am I satisfied with the way these steaks look? Yes, look at them. They're beautiful. Good Jesus, I'm ready. At the end of the day, being proud of what you made. Are them photos tasty? But it's more, it's genuinely that. If you're satisfied with what you're creating at the end of the day, if you're accomplishing your goals and you're happy at the end of the day, like, that's it. I'm content. It's not all money and fame and stuff like people put out there, because that stuff is only so finite. That's not stuff you can hold on to and leave with you, keep with you when you pass. It's just defining yourself, being content with yourself, who you are as a human being at the end of the day.
The success for me as a photographer is to honestly just to keep shooting and learn and continue to grow as a photographer. And it's a little cheesy, but really that's it. Like, I never had any expectations with photography to get big or make a lot of money off of it. I mean, that'd be nice, but photography is just something I've always thought was so cool, and it's such a beautiful art form, Like, I love seeing these little snapshots of life from, like, the 50s, 60s, and 70s. It's just, these like timeless memories. And I guess, I want to make those kind of images too. I think developing my own style of photography would be a goal for myself as well. Like, because right now I don't really know what to call my style of photography. And I had a friend describe it as West Coast vibe, and I like that. I don't really know what that means yet, but it'd be cool to keep taking photos and explore what that might look like.
To me, success as a photographer is being able to take pictures of people that I care about, having them look at it and feel beautiful or handsome or incredible. There's no better feeling to me than taking a portrait of someone, and like the moment that they look at it, they just have this resounding sense of self-worth. Their self-esteem is exponentially increased. There is no greater feeling, and I feel like that, to me, at least for me, that's what makes a successful photo, and in turn makes me feel like I'm doing a good job as a photographer, building up the people that I'm taking portraits of.
Success as a photographer for me is as simple as being able to create an image that you want to look at over and over and over again. It's personal. It doesn't have to be a widespread success. If you make something that you love, that's good.
How would you define success as a photographer? Hopefully hearing from these photographers has given you some insight and introspection into your own definition. Success is not black and white. There's no right or wrong in your truth. Tell your story and may success follow you. Until next time, friends, we look forward to seeing you